Hi everyone, welcome back to David at Go To Hobbies. I wanted to show you some of the copper wire I've made. You think, what is he on about copper wire for? Because you can make out of copper wire many things. I've made rings, I've made bracelets, I've made energy coils, and so on and so forth. So when you once you've created what you want out of the copper, it can really be turned into something nice. In other words, when you've created something from your own hands, no one else in the world has it. It is unique to you. You are the sole owner of that creation, and no one can take it away from you. And the great thing about it is, when you've designed it, it's yours. No one else owns it, it's just yours. So I'll show you something I'm going to make. And this is a bit of copper wire twisted together, hammered on both sides to make it flat. As you can see, it's flat there. Twist it a little bit more, flatten there. It's like a bit of rectangle, but twisted wire. And that's probably around about, I don't know, a foot long. So I can make rings out of that. So that's just one example. Something like this. In a previous video, a bit of twisted copper wire, I made myself a bracelet. So that's basically the same sort of stuff, yeah. But copper, it's not very focused very well, is it? Should we try and see if we can get it focused better? Here we go. How do you make your how do you make your copper wire like this? Well, it all starts. Let me show you. I'll find it. With a bit of copper wire, yeah. Obviously, you need to cut to the same length, and then you fold it onto itself. Put that into a vise or pair of pliers, and that one into the drill chuck, and then you turn it clockwise. And while it's turning, make sure it's in the chuck of the vise tightly, otherwise it'll pull out. Or what tends to happen, it usually comes out the drill this end, because you're gonna have to squash that down, poke it into the drill, turn the chuck up and tight so it holds it, and then just gently turn the drill. So ideally would be a battery drill, it's rechargeable drill. Turn it, and while you turn it, just gently hold one hand on the drill, one hand on the copper wire, and think positive thoughts when you're creating it. That way you infuse it with positive energy. So how did this all start, this copper wire? Right? Bear with. Okay. Oops. The camera's just moved. Sorry about that. The camera decided to go wobbly. So we have normal twin and earth, 2.5 and 1.5. When they say, when they say twin and earth, it is basically a red, a black, and an earth wire running through the middle without a sheath on it. All right? And that is the same with that one. This is something like 1 mil. This will probably be 2.5 mil. Actually, no, that would be 1.5 mil. That would probably be 0.75 mil. The thicker the cable, the more amperage it will take. So something like that will be on your normal like lighting circuit, yeah, or like a spur. That would probably be the lighting circuit. This stuff, because it doesn't carry a lot of amps. This would probably carry enough for a sort of a single socket. I'm not an electrician, so I wouldn't know. And if there's any electricians out there, please correct me. And what I was going to show you is if I can find a bit of 2.5 twin and earth. Bear with. Sorry about that, but unfortunately I haven't got my hands on a bit of 2.5. So I have to set up 1.5 twin and earth. So basically you've got this. You've got the sheath that surrounds it. Yeah. That's what it likes like before it's stripped down. So you got three wires. The middle one's earth because it's not got a protective sheath around it. This one is live. This one's negative, and that's the sort of wire thickness. Yeah, and that will be per micrometer on it 1.70 in thickness. So that is basically 1.5 twin and earth. That's what that is. Okay, we can use this for making copper bracelets, copper rings and stuff like that, but I've got a better idea. So what we got, I can find it. Where's it gone? Bear with. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Just turn that off before we have a flat battery. Is this? It's a bit of heavy duty earth wire, and that is thickness. Turn it on. Set it to 0. Diameter that is going to be 6 mil. Yeah. So we can make a nice bracelet out of that, couldn't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the sheath off. So we've got a copper wire, and we're going to heat it up and make a nice bracelet out of this. So as I say, you can use any thickness of copper wire. This is be a bit more manly bit of wire instead of a dinky thing like that. Everyone suits. It suits everyone, doesn't it? What they want to use it for. So stay tuned. I'll be back. Right. Word of advice: always cut away from you, never towards you with a Stanley blade. Yeah, or pen, not a penknife, but a blade. Okay. So I'll do what I have to do, and I'll come back to you. That done. Safety first, always. So as you can see, I've sliced down the outside layer off on here, and now we'll just pull that off like that. Very satisfying actually, stripping copper wire. Right, and here we got a nice bit of copper wire, quite thick. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to do one or two things. I'm going to attach this into a drill, right, and then spin it up so it's got a bit more twist in it, so it sort of holds it together. Because what will tend to happen is, as soon as I start doing anything with it, it's going to come apart, and I don't really want to do that. So right, I think what I'm going to do first, I'm going to heat it up so I can manipulate it easier. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be back. Right, I've already heated it up. Obviously I've stripped it all off, and I stuck it. I annealed it, and I didn't really want to show you on camera because it was rather a tricky job, and I don't want to end up having any problems. So I'd rather do it away from the camera. You saw what a video how to nail copper, so you basically do the same principle with what I showed you earlier. So as I say, you stick it in a drill, turn it wrong way, twist it clockwise, hold it in the other end, and you need to hold this end in a pair of pliers or a vise, and you turn it And once you get it to where you want it got, excuse me, and you get a nice thick, whoops, a nice thick, I'm going to show you a bit of focus, thick bit of copper. It's not focusing very well, is it? Anyway, oh, excuse me. So there we have. What I'm tempted to do is put a little bit of solder, once I've cut it, put a little bit of solder on there and a little bit of solder on the other end, just to keep it in place, because I don't want it sort of coming apart. But it shouldn't do. It shouldn't do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim the end off here very carefully, because I know what's going to happen. As soon as I cut it, it's going to go. So very carefully try to cut it as flush as you can. Yeah. Right. Can't really do the camera and do this at the same time, so you're just going to have to bear with. Right. See how it's cut it across. Nice and flush. You can see that it's quite a nice cut actually. So if I measure this one on here, and so how do we measure it? We go like that, roll it down the length and start again. You just gently, my fingers are in the way, just gently roll it down. So it's not working very well. I have to do it off camera, bear with. I found a way to do it and I'll show you. Right, so you've got your bracelet and you want to make one exactly the same. So what you do, you put your ends together, yeah, and then you just bring your fingers down. So you basically roll it down finger by finger like that. Yeah, so that's my way of measuring it. And once you've got to where you want to be, my fingers in the way, about there, so I'll probably do, I don't know, 1/4 inch longer, yeah, and then I'll cut that, cut it in, get it in position. Happy with that? And then just make sure you cut it. Right, I'm happy with that. So there's my bracelet ready to be done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to nail this again, and once I've done that, I'm going to quench it in the water, and then we can adjust this to where we want it to be. Might need to do a little bit of trimming of the wire at the end, but we'll see. So I'll be back. So if it's out of focus, that's a bit quieter, isn't it? I've got to be mindful of safety, everything involved with doing this. So you might think that, oh, we can't see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to watch what I'm doing and trying to avoid getting myself burnt and setting the place on fire really. So let's re-sit down and position myself. Let's pause that for a minute. Hopefully you could follow all that. I know it's a bit of a long-winded video, but little things is so important when you're making something, and to get it right is ideal. So the next stage is, once now we've nailed it, we'll start shaping it. So that'll be in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video so far, but thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Take care everyone, and please subscribe. Bye bye.